Hey everybody, so what we're going to make today is this. It's a bread pudding done in the sous vide. This one in particular has Saskatoon berries in it. I also made ones with raisins and they turned out pretty spectacular, so let's get started. For the custard base, what I have here is 1 whole egg plus 2 egg yolks. I'm going to add to that a cup of milk, a cup of cream, and I'm going to put in a 1/4 cup of real maple syrup. Alright, that's really yummy. I'm just going to mix that around a little bit. And that'll be the liquid for our bread pudding. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut up the bread. Now you can toast it. Leftover bread tends to be a little dry and stale anyway. Then we're going to add them into the jars. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our dry ingredients and we're going to put them in the jars. So we've got our breadcrumbs. The instructions don't say one way or the other whether or not you're supposed to grease the jars or not, so I did. I am going to put in these. They're frozen Saskatoon berries. So we're going to add the custard, and we're going to get somewhere between 1/4 to halfway up the jar. For this one, I think I'm going to stay fairly simple and put in a little bit of cinnamon. A couple spoonfuls of brown sugar. I'm using the 1/2 pint jars, the largemouth ones. So the next thing it says to do is to add the lids. And just put them on finger tight, like always with the sous vide. And then what the person does that wrote the instructions is actually shake the jars. Alright, so I see that there's definitely cinnamon in there. It's all mixed up. I think you could also probably kind of give them a stir with a spoon. I will link the instructions in the description box below. So the next thing I do with these guys is they go into the sous vide bath for 2 hours. And we'll come back to that when we're done. Okay, so what we have here is our jars coming out of the sous vide. I've taken the lids off. This one and the other 2 are berry. This one is raisin. I started out with 6 and I had some issues. And yeah, 2 of my jars actually exploded in the sous vide. And when I say they exploded, I mean they exploded. So I learned a few things. Make sure your ingredients are up to room temperature and your jars are not cold before you drop them in the water bath. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the broiler in the oven and I'm going to just kind of toast the top of these and yeah, we'll see what that looks like when we're done. Alright, I didn't put them in the broiler for too long, but they smell amazing. And we're going to give them a try and see what they're like. Alright. It's pretty wet and puddingy. Tastes good. I think I probably could have put a smidge less custard in this one. So for future knowledge, I'll know, put a little bit less than half the jar in custard, but otherwise pretty tasty. So we just finished trying it out for serious, and even the 6-year-old liked it. So I'm thinking that that's a pretty good statement of whether or not it's good or not. I also think next time I may toast the bread and see if that makes it a little less wet. But it turned out pretty good. It's definitely worth a try. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, where I am making lots of crazy stuff in the sous vide. Good night.